I'm Josh with Waupaca Community Media, and we're back again this week for our weekly update here in Waupaca. And the first one, Waupaca City Council Tuesday evening approved a housing program to help fix up some residential properties in Waupaca. So tell us about
Yeah,
it.
thanks, Josh. Good to see everyone, by the way. We had a council meeting last night, and it was the third time that we've talked about a ARPA housing program. So ARPA is the federal funds that we received in two installments. One last spring, we'll receive another one this year, and that'll total about $625,000. There are specific things that it has to be spent on, and one of those eligible items is giving it back for homeowners assistance for people who are negatively impacted by COVID-19. And City Council last night voted to approve a home repair program. So that will be probably opening up, I'm going to say I'd say a month from now, no sooner than mid-March. So everyone should keep all of their eyes and ears to our city social media, community media pages. There will be all the information and guidelines on our website shortly. But it is $10,000 grants or up to $10,000 grants. And depending on the household income, the requirements are going to vary a little bit. And we look forward to rolling it out and improving something that's noted in our comp plan that was updated about a year and a half, 2 years ago, as well as our strategic plan, which is kind of revitalizing our old housing stock. Our old housing stock, just to give a little snapshot of what that looks like, over 45% of our homes are pre-1970. So we have an older community and older housing inventory than most. And right now, we talk about this all the time. Josh and Ron, we're in a great race for people, right? And the demographics have made it really tough from a workforce standpoint and the challenges that are presented there. You're seeing some communities, Fond du Lac County, the city of Wausau, who have created actual incentive programs to where they're paying people to move there. Well, this is kind of a way for us to say, hey, Waupaca is doing something that is showing the value of living in the city, and it's almost a resident retention, while also creating that buzz around Waupaca to say, hey, Waupaca has some things going on, and there's reasons to move there. So those are just a couple of the other things that you may not think about when thinking about the benefits of a program like this. But yeah, that's those details will come forward very shortly, Josh.
So in addition to the opportunity to make some repairs to your house and get some of that funded, the city is also one step closer to a new residential subdivision, which also was approved working with a developer last night to start implementing River North.
Yep. So another one of the things we've been working on is, again, creating more housing. We know there's a housing shortage everywhere, specifically in Waupaca and Waupaca County. We are working with HDG. There was an agreement signed last night to work with them as a master developer and do some pre-development services that would need to be done out there before we started any construction. And the term of that agreement is 12 months. We would look to target a specific area first. And that area there's really not a need for infrastructure like streets, water, sewer in that area, kind of the low-hanging fruit development piece. And then as we work through this process, the value generated in that first area could help support future areas of the development. But the key piece to this right now, without getting too complicated, is that the city entered into a contract and an agreement with Hoffman Development Group out of the Valley. And we are going to work with them as partners and work with the community to execute kind of the vision for River North and take that first step. So we're excited about that. And the first thing, really, the first priority is addressing some of our employers' workforce housing needs.
Right, we're going to move along to another topic. Families that have children around the age of 4K registration for next school year is opened up right now. Tell us about that, Ron.
Yeah, we're actively taking enrollment and registrations right now, Josh. If anybody has a child who turns 4 on or before September 1 of 2022, they're eligible to enroll, and we please request that they register by Friday, April 29th of 2022, this April.
Another opportunity at the school we want to talk about, junior prom. That's being planned, and you're looking for some assistance with that as well.
Yeah, the post-prom committee of parents has requested that I do a little plug for them, and of course, more than happy to do so. The junior prom is so important to our students at Waupaca High School, and the prom is scheduled for April 2nd. So that's coming up not too long from now. But the post-prom committee is looking for parents, junior parents that have some time and treasure and talents to volunteer to help with that post-prom event. And I'll be sending out in my weekly update a link that parents can click on and sign up to help out in some capacity with that post-prom activity.
Very cool. School safety is still at the forefront, and the school just participated in what's called a tabletop exercise, where you're thrown a situation and you work through it. So tell us what you can about that.
Yeah, our county is very proactive and has gotten together with all of the schools and all of the law enforcement, DHS, the Red Cross. And so what we recently did was received a scenario and talked through it. They call it a tabletop activity. But what it did is it shows us our level of preparation, and then we're able to brainstorm with each other as far as law enforcement and the other schools in our county, and talk about what we're doing right, what we could do differently, sharing ideas, identifying gaps of things that we didn't think of that we need to do a better job of planning for. So yeah, it talks about, like, what do you do if you have to evacuate? Where do you go? If you have to reunite your students then with families, how does that process work? Have you planned on different contingencies, different other situations that occurred? So it was a real good activity, and we're very pleased. And soon after now, we're going to get back together and talk about the strengths, weaknesses, what we learned, and what we need to do for next steps. So yeah, pretty happy and pleased with this activity.
And we're going to close out this week with some good news on the COVID numbers. The school's in a really good spot right now.
Yeah, these numbers continue to go in our favor, Josh. Last week we had COVID numbers 5, 4, 3, 5, and 5, and this week so far we started out with 5 and 4, and we anticipate they're going to continue to stay in these single digits and hopefully down to 0. And our county continues to trend in the same direction, down, down, down. And we're happy about that and pleased. And hopefully at some point, not too long down the road, we're going to be talking about what they call an endemic. I'm excited to get into that conversation at some point.
Ron, Aaron, definitely a lot of stuff going on, from housing to events at the school, and some good news on the safety front, both with the exercise and COVID. So good talking again this week.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.